Hello, welcome to Maidenhead Bridge. In this video, we are going to see how easy it is to connect to Zscaler using Maidenhead Bridge technology. At Maidenhead Bridge, we use a model of automation DevOps that provides simplicity when you want to connect to Zscaler. In addition to that, we have several years of experience connecting companies to Zscaler, and we saw the same repetitive problem all the time. And the problem is it's very hard or near impossible to do tunnels from firewalls or routers in an easy way. You need to do a lot of commands, there's a lot of routing tables, there's a lot of firewall rules, near impossible to maintain, and not all firewalls are 100% compatible. And at the end, the people is suffering a lot when trying to use their own technology to connect to Zscaler. That's why we created a machine that is, it comes completely configured with all the configuration on it. You don't need to configure this machine that will allow you to connect to Zscaler. And we will show you in very simple steps how easy it is. First, let's do a quick review about the problem we solve. Maidenhead Bridge has cloud security connectors that are available on GRE or IPsec, and we can cover any internet link. You can use a cheap broadband link with dynamic IP or a high-speed link up to 1 Gbps. You can route all foreign protocols if you want to use firewall in the cloud. The connector has a VIP proxy if you want to create a pack file and to use the VIP proxy. This is mandatory to have. If you have no default route to the internet, then with the connector you are able to do to connect to Zscaler even if you don't have default route to the internet. A connector has a bypass proxy. There is always a necessity to bypass some particular sites, and it's very complex to add every routing or every firewall rule for every site to resolve the DNS, especially if you don't have a firewall that is able to work with domains. Well, and to maintain the list is very hard. Uh, the connector comes with a very easy way. We will show this in this demonstration, a very easy way to maintain and to create bypasses. 100% compatible. Every parameter is 100% compatible with the Zscaler Cloud. And one important point on the connector, we are not doing any scanning. The performance of the connector will not degrade with the time. The connector is only doing traffic redirection, and no configuration is required. The connectors comes with the full configuration. The only that you need to do is to fill a form, to put your IP, and to download the virtual machine. Let's do a quick review of the models available. Well, the big one for when your link is on top of 200 Mbps, you need to use GRE tunnels. And we have a GRE on single or cluster configuration. Most people is using on cluster configuration and on a data center because it's an important exit to the company. And we have, in that case, we provide the GRE model. For people who wants to use Scalar on links below 200 Mbps, most people use the Anywhere because it's very flexible and you can install very easily. If it doesn't matter if your IP is dynamic here, if you have a broadband link, there is no restriction, and you can place anywhere in your network. It's very flexible. There are another model that is the single. This model is on the GRE and also on the IPsec. This model is used with two interfaces, mainly for people who wants to use firewall in the cloud. This one arm interface, only one interface, is for people who wants to replace their current proxy solution to place on the same subnet. Don't touch anything in their own network, just create a pack file and to redirect the traffic to the connector, and the connector will redirect the traffic through the tunnels. But people who are using firewall in the cloud, they prefer to use two interfaces model, and because the connector is a firewall, there is no way the traffic can come through from external to internal, and you can have here a broadband or router and or firewall, and you can use firewall in the cloud for your company with this interface. In this demonstration, we are going to do a simple installation of a one arm, and we are going to show how simple it is to connect to Zscaler using these tools. Well, let's start with the beginning, how to create the connector. You need to fill a form where you need to put your email address, some data here, your company name, in my case, your company ID. This company ID is the company ID of your profile on the Zscaler. This is the company ID here. You need to select your cloud. In my case, most people are using CS Cloud today. I'm using Zscaler Vita because I'm a developer. And on domains, you need to select one domain from here, one domain of your console. In my case, I have only one, but you can have several. Please select only one. Location, put the name of the location, and your platform. The connectors can run on any platform. There are Ubuntu operating system. Ubuntu runs on any virtual platform. Then there is no restriction. And in case you don't have anything on the particular place, we can provide it on small industrial servers. In my case, I'm going to use VMware. And the next step is to put the data, and well, you need to put your IP, gateway, and DNS. The connector uses 3 IPs, and for simplicity, we ask you for the first one only, but in my case, it's using 65. But my connector will use 65, 66, and 67. And my gateway. And finally, a DNS server. And submit. This is the only thing you need to know to do, right? To connect to Zscaler. To use this. It's very easy. And I already did this, and I have the configuration done. And after 24 hours, you will receive 3 files. The first file, three files to download. This is the URLs. The first file is the VPN credentials. The second one is the URL bypass. We will talk later about this. And the other one is the OVA file, the Open Virtual Appliance. One important point here is the virtual appliance, the requirement is 1 CPU, 1 gig RAM, and 4 gig disk. It's very small. It's not a massive OVA image. Okay. Well, my first task then is to create the location for this particular place. In order to create the location, I will go to the Zscaler portal here. I will go to VPN credentials, and I will import the CSV file that Maidenhead Bridge sent to you. Import the credential here. The record is imported, and close. And activate. Okay. The next task is to create the location using that VPN credentials. Then add a location, put the location name. I will put 001, our main location. Now let's put this. Put your country, I mean United Kingdom, your time zone, and the VPN credentials here. And this is my VPN credentials. Okay. And in my case, I'm using X forwarder, surrogate, and SSL scanning, and save. As you can see, you don't need to open a ticket to Zscaler. You don't need to ask for support to connect to Zscaler. This is the only that you need to do and activate. Okay, done. Your next task is to deploy the OVA. Oh my God. Thank you, Windows. Um, Go to your VMware platform, go to File, Deploy, and this is my file, the OVA file. Click Next, Next. Put a name and a place where you want to locate. I want to locate this, but this is VMware. And the next task is the appliance will come with one network, call it internal, and select the destination. This is the destination for this network. Okay. This is the only task that you need to do. And here we go. And now the deployment will be, the machine will be deployed and created. It should take some minutes. I will stop the video for a minute and I will start again when this is imported. Okay, well now we have the machine deployed on my VMware platform. What I'm going to do now is to open the console and let me show you the settings of the machine. As you can see, it's 1 gigabyte only, one CPU, and it's only 4 gigabyte. It's very small machine. Uh, let's start the machine now. What will happen now is the auto configuration process. The machine will boot, of course, and uh, will go out to detect the Zscaler Cloud, to detect which nodes are closed to the connector, the nearest node, and will boot again. Now it's doing the booting process. And after the machine, and it's shutting down now, after the machine is booting down, um, it will create all firewall rules, all routing tables, everything that is needed to connect to these two nodes. And it's automatic process. The machine is doing that. You don't need to do anything on it. Of course, you can select nodes manually if you want, and I will show you how to do it. Okay, ready. The process of the configuration was done. The machine was booting twice, and now we are ready to go. Remember, my IP was 169, and now I can get access. It's Maidenhead. Okay, let me open this more. Okay, this is the information of the console. On the console, we have several sections. The first section is admin task, where you can change or view your credentials. For example, if I want to view my credentials, the same credentials that we sent to you to import, these credentials are on the connector. You can change if you want, or you can use what we send. But the objective of this pre-configuration is that you are connected as soon you turn on the machine. You can select the node manually. At the moment, the nodes are already, but there is an option if you want to select, for example, CS Cloud, and I want to select manually the nodes. This is the same list that exists on Zscaler. You can choose, and I want to choose Amsterdam and Europe and second Brussels. Okay, you can select the nodes here, but um, the nodes comes pre-configured on the connector during the automatic configuration. The next is monitoring task. And here we have all what you need to check how is the status. Let's do number 4, show configuration and status. As you can see here, this is in one click. We are doing several tests. We are showing the IPs. We are checking if the gateway is reachable and which gateway you have. This is your VIP proxy. If you want to point your pack file, we are going to point our pack file to here. And this is the bypass proxy if you want to bypass for specific sites. DNS information is showing the DNS that the connector has in the configuration, and also if the DNS are reachable or not. This is the Zscaler information. This is my node is auto primary. In my case, auto primary has these IPs that is in Frankfurt and is alive, is reachable. My secondary node in this case has this IP that is in Washington. The reason of this, I'm in Zscaler Vita. Zscaler Vita has few nodes, but it's for developers. Okay. In terms of tunnel information, well, the node act is auto primary. You will see auto primary, auto secondary, and was the AppSec, IPsec uptime is, well, these seconds, and the last security association was in that same time. In terms of, well, security association are refreshed every 8 hours, and IPsec time is the time that the tunnel is up. In the case the primary node fails, auto secondary will be active, and the algorithm of the connector has the intelligence to detect when the auto primary is back and to check the stability, and it will wait 15 minutes of stability of the auto primary before to switch, because time to time do you have networking problems, these type of things, or that happens, then it will guarantee that there's no flipping between one and another. Credentials information, and finally Zscaler always asks you, please go to ipzscaler.com and tell me what's going on, and this is the information coming from that page, and is saying you are using the node Frankfurt on this cloud and your public IP is this one. And the AWS Amazon Web Services agent, we will talk about this in minutes. Okay, the good about this uh, test is you don't need to go, oh, check the interface, ping the gateway, check the DNS, ping the gateway, check the node, ping the node, check the node. No, in one click you have all the information. Or go to ipzscaler.com or check the file. You don't need to do anything. Just press menu 4 and you have all the information on it. We have more information here: interface traffic, trace route, and latency test. But let's start using Zscaler then. And let's start taking a look at my VIP proxy, that is 66. And I will go to my console and I will use a pack file. I call it main pack file. We provide pack file examples for our customers in order to simplify this pack file with all commands here. And I will put on a proxy, I will put 192.168.1.66. This is my VIP proxy, okay? And this is the variable used as return proxy. Always verify and save. And activate. Okay, good. Now I'm going to copy this URL and to use here. Okay, let me double check this. Okay. If you want to check on Chrome with your proxy settings, always come to internal proxy and you will see which one it is. Well, perfect. Now I am connected to Zscaler using the Frankfurt node. Easy. Easy. No etiquette to support. Nothing to configure. Just import the OVA file and you are connected. This is the easiest way to connect to Zscaler, and we offer more. Let's do now a speed test, and let's do a quick check here, and I will take a look of show interface traffic. If you want to see the traffic on the interfaces, and let me run this. Okay, you will see here well, I have a link of 76 megabytes. You will see, well, this going in out, this one interface, but you will be able to see in real time the traffic and if there is any packet error or something in your machine. With the connector, it's very, very easy to see. Now I have an uplink about 20 something megabits per second, megabits per second, and this is showing here. As you can see, you have visibility about how much bandwidth do you have, and here is the test, 70 and upload download test. Continue with the monitoring task. Connector also provide a trace route. The trace route is very important because it's the only way that you can change you can check the latency, and you are able to see the latency of the connector, of the communication to Zscaler. In my case, I'm going to Frankfurt. As you can see, it's 15 milliseconds. That's very good. And now it's checking a trace route to a secondary node through the tunnel. It's also doing a trace route to a public place, in this case to Google DNS, in order to validate how is the path between the Zscaler node and the, the, the Google. As you can see, Zscaler has brilliant peering. If you check this this is one sham because I'm direct connected to the primary node. But if you check between nodes, this is Frankfurt, this is Washington. In one hop is going to one place to another. If you check, this is the exit of Zscaler to Google. It's very also few shams. And here is the reverse path. This is very important because this is the path between the active node, this is the primary node, to my IP, to my public IP. If I have any problems with the reverse path, I can tell my ISP, okay, there is a problem in some particular place or something like that. In this case, everything is working very well, right? It's no packet loss at all in all nodes to my destination. And also the connector has a speed test where you can check the same test that we do on the website, and you can check the speed of the particular location from here. You don't need to go outside to check this. It takes the same time that in the website. Okay, as you can see, it's the same pin, similar results that we got here. Okay, this we put this as experimental, and because we need to rely on third-party tools, but it works pretty well. That's, you can trust in this, and in general it works pretty well. And the next on the console is to talk about bypass proxy and the bypass list. As you can see on the bypass list, there is nothing. If I send traffic to the bypass proxy, it will block everything. By default, everything is blocked. But I want to configure uh, some bypasses, and you have two ways to do this. Uh, One way is automatically using the bypass pack URL. This is what we recommend to use. And the other one is manual. Manual is just to uh, edit with an editor and to put your bypasses here, right? But I'm not going to use this editor. We recommend to I don't want to apply change. I would recommend to use the bypass URL. And as you can see, the device the connector comes with a pack URL configure with your domain and your cloud. And we send to you one of the files as mentioned is this one. In this one, you will receive which one is the URL that the connector has on it and a template for the pack bypass. And you need to create this bypass proxy like this one. And this is an example, but you need to fill here with your values, okay? And the good about this is I have this pack on the cloud, and this is the example. And the good about this is you can use the Zscaler pack file servers as central repository of all your bypasses. Because if you have several connectors, I know 30, 50 connectors, you want all of them to go to one repository and only one configuration and for all of them. My proxy is 161.167, okay? And as you can see, there is some domains, but I'm bypassing Salesforce and this portquiz.net. And I will show you in a second how it works. Always verify, save, and activate, okay? When you have this ready, is saved, is validated, you can copy this, copy, and go to your main pack file in order to put this. We can recommend to put some here and paste. Okay, this is my pack, verify, this is correct, and save. And activate. Well, now I'm going back here. Says I am on the auto configuration bypass. You change you want to change the URL? No, I want to keep it. I want to refresh the pack list. Yes. And now you can see now the connector was going out to the pack file servers on the cloud, and it was getting the list now. Do you want to apply changes? Yes. And that's it. If I want to see my selection now, this is my list of bypasses. Going back to here, I will refresh the pack file on Chrome. The pack file is refreshed, and now, for example, if I go to google.com, yeah, let me check this. On security, you can see I'm using Zscaler a certificate because I'm doing SSL inspection for this location, but Salesforce is on my list of bypasses. I'm going direct with Salesforce because Salesforce is here and it's going direct, and I'm not inspecting at all Salesforce. And there is a nice for some people who wants to know a little bit more about bypasses, the connector allows or port. You can use any port, if external port, and that is blocking all unsafe ports. Okay, you are allowed to use any safe port on the internet, like 8080 or app. This type of about 1,000, but you are not allowed to use unsafe ports for bypassing. These are blocked by design, and we expect not to allow it. Okay. If you want to check if your bypass proxy is active, you can go to the URL and check if alive or not. Okay. But it's very easy. It's very easy to do. And now I have a full solution with send the traffic to Zscaler with all the monitoring tools like that bypass proxy. You are already near done, but there is one more thing, a very important thing, because the cloud connectors are a cloud instance. You don't need to think an appliance or something like that. Our cloud instance are compatible. You can manage them from Amazon. And the good about the management with Amazon is that you can run all the tasks from here and you can automate the tasks from here. And I will show you how easy it is to manage the connectors from Amazon. And one more important point, probably the most important point, Amazon allows you to manage instance on-prem up to 1,000 for free. You don't need to pay anything to have this management. It's absolutely free. Amazon provides these services. Of course, you will love Amazon. We love Amazon. I'm a big fan of Amazon web services, and I have a lot of things on Amazon. And this service is incredibly good. You can manage all instances from here. You can manage all connectors from here, and it's free. And we have the best of the best platform, the best of the best management in the world for free, right? And nothing to say in this, no brainer. The first thing you need to do is to create the keys for the connector. I will create a set of keys for this connector, and I assume this expiration date, and I will call this one and create an activation. Okay, this is my activation code, and this is my ID. I will copy on the safe place here. Okay, and I will show how easy it is. I need to copy this activation code, and I come to the connector, and I will go to this AWS register or unregister. Selection 8. Do you want to register? Yes. This is my activation code, and now I need to do the activation ID. And the region that you want to put the connectors. The region usually is here. Is this? I'm using AU1 West, and that's it. Well, it takes some time, but now it's going to Amazon is validating the agent, is creating the communication, is using the keys, and we will see very soon the connector on the console. Well, here we have now the connector is an Amazon instance with this managed instance. Okay, and let's do a quick pact. Amazon, and let's go to manage instance. As you can see, we have now the connector here. The 65 is my connector, and now I can run the same commands that I have on, this is menu 4, show configuration status, and I will run on this new instance and run. As you can see, this is the same command that I can do by SSH, and you can do from here. And the good about, you can schedule these commands. If you want to do some particular task or you want to have the status of this, you can schedule from here. It's very, very, very easy to do. Uh, in the case you want to update all your bypasses and your all connectors, very easy. Let's go to this list of bypass. Suppose I want to add something here. Uh, no, the main bypass.com. Add here, verify, add a new pack file as well. Remember always this bypass need to be updated on the pack in production. But let's do a quick check of the bypasses. This is the list of bypasses now. And now I'm going to run a command to refresh the bypass list. And here you can select all your nodes, for example, if you want. Refresh all my nodes. Or to do in one particular node, like in this one. In this case, I'm using this one. And run. It's very fast. Succeed. Bypass list was updated. Nice. And now remember we added a domain. If I go here, I have my domain bypass on the list. It's very, very easy to do. It's full automated. And well, in this video, this is the end of the video. But remember, the main objective is to connect to Zscaler from any link, any broadband link, medium and high-end links. We have several models for clustering, one arm, direct replacement, PAP proxy, bypass proxy, nothing to configure, just fill your form, import on VMware, select the interface is the only task, and you are connected to Zscaler. And you have all troubleshooting commands that you can run from here, or you can run from Amazon. And on Amazon, you can select here if you want to receive an email when the node is down, or notification when the task is done. You have the best of the best management in the world. Now, well, this is the end of the presentation. I hope you enjoy that, and please test this. You will love the connectors. There is no other way uh, so simple to connect to Zscaler. No manual configuration, no pains related to tunnels or GRE tunnels, IPsec tunnels, fixed IPs, variable IPs. Don't suffer anymore. Contact us. We are more than happy to provide a demonstration for you, and you can check the quality of our products. Thank you very much.